Hey everyone, it's Megan and we are live for the 2015 planning party. Actually, we may have just gone live. Hey everyone, it's Megan. We are live for the 2015 planning party and I am so excited that you're here. I'm gonna click back over, just take care of a little bit of logistics. Just gonna click back over and make sure that I am on live. There's a little bit of delay in the chat, but if you are seeing and hearing me, if you could just pop into the Q&A box that you can see and hear me. I'm hooked up to my microphone, so I want to make sure that's working. And I've got some people on standby, double checking, and then we'll get started. Let me just check in with my people behind the scenes. And also down at the bottom of your screen, there's a little button that says live. You want to make sure you click that so that you're caught up with the time on the video. You can start watching it from the beginning, but if you want to be live with us where we're at in the webinar, then you want to click that live link. All right, I'm just making sure everything is good. I'm just going to give us a few more minutes to let everyone come on. I'm going to check back over on my Google Plus page. Okay, it looks like there's just a little delay. Hang on, making sure we're okay. It looks like I got one person, at least one person can see me. So again, there's a little bit of delay. So if I ask a question or you ask a question, I don't get to it right away. There's usually just a little bit of lag. Okay, let me check in with my people one more time. Yay, I'm there. Okay, so like I said, there may be a little bit of a delay, but I think we're good. Let me click that. Great. Hi, Lily. Hi, Anastasia. Hi, Beryl. Thank you so much for checking in. You guys, this is kind of exciting for me. Little nerve-wracking. I will admit I did not sleep fantastically last night because I was just thinking about the logistics. You know, normally when you do a webinar, you sit at your desk in front of your computer. I'm standing in my office. We're going to try to do some live planning on the Post-it note wall behind me. I'm attached to my microphone to my computer, so I could very well trip over it and pull my computer off. I have it propped up on a box on top of my desk. So this is an adventure. I love being super transparent in my business. I love showing you kind of behind the scenes. It's also pouring rain today, so it's a little dark. My office is in my garage, and I do have some windows, but it's pretty dark today because it's raining, so I have some other lights hooked up. You can see there's a little reflection on my whiteboard, but I think it'll be fine. And I'm a little bit dark, but you'll be able to see and hear me. I also don't expect you to actually be able to read the things I'm writing on the Post-it notes because it's a little far away and Post-it notes are small, but I'm gonna walk you through everything. So you'll have the system down and you'll understand what is going on the Post-it notes. We'll also be doing this live. You guys are going to be planning right along with me. So make sure you have your Post-it notes, have a pen, because you're going to be planning this right along with me. And of course, there's going to be a replay, so you can always come back, watch it again, go over different pieces. Definitely reach out to me via email or on Facebook if you have any questions or you want to dive in any deeper to this. Oh, the other thing is you're going to see me with my notes, because normally if I'm sitting at my desk, I can keep my notes a little more subtle, but you're going to see me. I've got my presentation right here because I have so much that I want to share with you. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. We also have a lot of prizes to give away, so I don't want to forget to give away prizes. So I've got cues for myself in there to stop and give away some prizes. And there are going to be prizes for those of you that are attending live. Prizes for people that did the Instagram challenge, but also prizes for people that are attending live. So a couple of times I'm going to click back over to my G Plus page so that I can see who is on live. So that's going to be really fun too. And let me think if there's anything else that I want to say to get started. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, let's dive in. If you have any questions along the way, pop them into the chat. Like I said, there's a little delay, but I'll try to get to all the questions. All right. So, oh, and the other thing, I'm going to be telling you, we're going to be talking all about planning. All this week on Instagram, we have been planning our 2015, and it has been super fun. This is my first ever Instagram challenge, so it was really fun for me, and I participated right alongside you. I did my Post-it notes. We're going to walk through them. I did my Post-it notes right alongside you, and it was really fun, and I got such great feedback from people saying that it was really nice to, have to take 5 minutes out of your day and just really think kind of creatively about the prompt and then write it on a Post-it note and share it. And it really connects that right brain, left brain of the planning and then also that creative element. You also have to, someone else pointed out, you have to get really specific when you only have a 3x3 inch square to write it on. So we're gonna see how all of those formulate together today and how they all work together to set us up for 2015. So if you didn't get a chance to participate in every day of the Instagram challenge, no problem. I want to read off the day's theme words so that you can be thinking about them, because it's the first thing we're going to use them for. And if you have yours or they're kind of stuck somewhere else, run grab them real quick or rewrite them real quick, however you want to do it. But the days where the first day was to set your theme word for 2015. The second day was to say hello, to share your name and web address. The third day was to share your big win of 2014. The fourth day was the Got This Day. That's the day you set your big goals for 2015. Then we talked on day 6 about, or I'm sorry, on day 5 about things getting a little scary and what are the things that you were willing to do in 2015 to take that big leap and push yourself to the next level. Then we focused on priorities. What are we driving towards? What are all these things leading up to? What's important to us? Then we focused on what we needed to learn to help us move along on that journey. What skills did we need to acquire? What lessons did we need to learn? Who did we need to talk to? Who did we need to connect with? Those kind of things. And then today, this morning's prompt was all about taking action, because so often what we do is we spend time planning, but then we forget that step that moves us into action. So today's prompt was, what can you do in the next 24 hours? Even though we're still in 2014, even though we're right in the middle of the busy holiday season, what can you do in the next 24 hours to get you started, to jumpstart you on your path to having your goals completed in 2015? And I'm going to be telling you later today about my brand new virtual workshop, My Tiny Empire, that's all about taking action. I'm going to show you how to take the plan that we've been putting together over the last week and that we're going to dive into deeper today. And I'm going to show you how to plan it all out in 2015 using Post-it notes. So I'm really excited to share with you the My Tiny Empire workshop at the end of the call or later on in the webinar today. And it is not going to be released until 2015, but I'm so excited by the momentum that we have with this Instagram challenge. You guys, I just searched this morning, and if you search the hashtag My Tiny Empire, there's 524 posts with the hashtag My Tiny Empire. That's amazing. So let's keep that momentum going. And I am actually going to open up pre-sale for my workshop at a super awesome price and offer a really great bonus that I only offer to my private clients at a really great holiday price, because I know this time of year can get a little tight and I really, really want you guys to succeed on this. So that is, sorry, I was just checking over in the chat. So that's going to be coming later. I'll share all the details with you there. Okay. Oh, we've got our first winner too. So the first winner, I picked these via the random number generator, and I did them ahead of time so that we wouldn't have to stop. So the first winner, this is just for participating in the Instagram challenge, and the first winner wins a package of Post-it notes, of course, and my absolute favorite pen, the Pentel Sign Pen, my favorite pen for writing on Post-it notes. And this is going to JD Jessie, at JD Jessie is her Instagram handle. And I don't know if you can see that, but don't worry if you can't, I will be emailing you. So if you know JD_Jessie, tag her over on Instagram. She just won the first Post-it note prize. All right. So now, here's the thing with planning. Planning tends to come, there tend to be two schools of thought or two traditional ways when it comes to goal setting and planning. One is, how do you want to feel? And the other is, what do you want to do? And sometimes they can feel like they're a little bit conflicting. Like one is very heart-centered, one is very like going on emotions, and how do you want your life to feel? How do you want your business to feel? And I think those are fantastic, and I love that. But we're not going to get there if we don't have action steps. So we also have to have the goals of what do you want to do? So today during our planning party, we're going to be combining both. And that's what this Instagram challenge all week was really about. We were talking about how we want to feel, but then how actionably we're going to get there. And so each day was a different prompt, and the prompts actually work together to form a really exciting, I called it a word problem, maybe because I have a first grader and he's working on math word problems right now, but you can put all your Post-it notes into a word problem to have a really exciting mantra for 2015. So I'm gonna share mine with you. I'm also gonna share the prompts so that you can plug yours in. Now, obviously you'll have to, maneuver the, sorry, I just got a message that there's no volume, but I think everyone else can hear me. If anyone else can't hear me, pop that into the chat. Let me try turning it up a little bit. There we go. So you might have to maneuver the words a little bit so it makes sense with your goals and Post-it notes, but let me show you what it is. So you start with, hi, enter your name. Let me just do mine for you. Let me pull it forward. Again, you're probably not gonna actually be able to read these, but you'll get the idea. So I started with, hi, my name is Megan from meganflatt.com. And this year, I got really clear on my business and it all clicked. This was my big win of 2014. So this is my say hello. This is my big win of 2014. So in 2015, I'm ready to accomplish my goals. And my goals are, I'm ready to streamline my business and my life so both can be more healthy and I continue to build an awesome community just like the one we're building here. So you go from your big wins to your goals, to your I got this goal. By accomplishing these goals, I'm gonna be able to flourish. And that's my theme word for 2015, flourish. So by accomplishing these goals, I'm gonna be able to flourish. And this will allow me, technical difficulties, this will allow me to get my biggest priorities in line, which are being present in all of my relationships, taking better care of myself, and having a business that I am crazy in love with. Those are my priorities. In order to accomplish this, I need to learn a few things. I need to learn how to be more efficient at outsourcing and up-level my financial knowledge. And I'm not gonna let fear stand in the way. I'm going to up my game this year. That's my big scary thing. So in order to make all this happen so that I can flourish in 2015, tomorrow, I'm going to finish my Q1 plan, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to finish my plan for the first 90 days of 2015, and I'm on my way. So take your Post-it notes and you can formulate them into this great mantra. Actually, I'm going to leave this up for the next part. And I have it all written out. And I'm just going to read it to you again. Hi, I'm Megan from meganflatt.com. In 2014, I got really clear on my business and it all clicked. In 2015, I'm ready to streamline many aspects of my life and business to make them both as healthy as possible and continue to build an amazing community. This will allow me to flourish so that I can be present in my relationships, take better care of me, and have a business that I'm crazy in love with. To reach my goals, I need to learn more about outsourcing and up-level my financial knowledge. And I won't let fear stand in my way. I'm gonna up my game this year. So tomorrow, I'm going to finish planning Q1 and I'll be on my way. So it's a really fun way to take everything we worked on over the week and put it into a great mantra that not only talks about how you want to feel in 2015, but how you're going to get there. So it is heart-centered, it is feelings and emotions and desire based, but it's got action steps behind it. And that, I think, is the sweet spot to where you make progress. All right, so now I'm going to give away a prize, and this is going to take just a minute. Okay, we've got 17 viewers, so let me get to my random number generator. Okay, so we've got 17 viewers. Okay, and it's generating, the little wheel is spinning. Okay, so person number 4. So I'm clicking back over to G+, and I'm just gonna go in order. I'm not gonna count myself, and I'm just gonna go straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Desiree Wolf. Desiree Wolf, you won a packet of Post-it notes and my favorite pen. Thank you so much for attending live. And we're gonna do more of those in just a second. And I've got some other gifts besides Post-it notes, but I mean, really, what's a better gift than Post-it notes and pens? But I do have some other things coming on later, so stay tuned for that. All right, now we are to the planning part of the planning party. So this is where you need to get out your Post-it notes and a pen, and I wanna give you some rules of brainstorming. There are no rules, basically, and most importantly, there is no editing. Just double checking questions real quick. Looks like we're still doing okay. So there is no editing when you're brainstorming. Brainstorm one every time you have an idea, write it out on a Post-it note, stick it on your desk, stick it on your wall, and just get all of the ideas out of your brain. I don't want you to think right now like, oh, well, how's that gonna fit into my business? Or how's that gonna make sense? Or I don't know how to do that. Don't worry about any of that right now. The main goal for right now, get everything out of your head. Okay, so we're gonna start with your theme word. So for me, my theme word is flourish. So I want you to think about what your theme word is for, yay, congrats, Desiree. We're getting some people commenting in. So think about what your theme word is for 2015. And like I said, it's really great to have this theme word. And when you write that theme word, you're like, oh, yes, that's totally how I want 2015 to be. But we need to decide how we're gonna actually get there. How are we gonna take action steps to get there? So what I want you to do is I want you to write down 1 or 2 or 3 things that you need to do, actionable steps that you need to do that will make you feel your theme word. Okay, so do that right now. Take your theme word and think about some action steps. I did this a little bit ahead of time so that I wasn't going to be writing while we were on camera here. Of course, then I set my whiteboard down on top of it. Okay, so for me, in order to flourish, I want to have more repeatable business. This year was really about creation for me. I created a lot of things. I created a lot of content. And for me to flourish, to really bloom where I'm planted, I want to really take advantage and have more repeatable business. That's going to help me flourish. Another way is to have more of a set schedule. And I was really good about that for the first half of the year. And then my kids started new school schedules in the fall, and that got thrown off a little bit. And so I saw how it worked really well for me at the beginning of 2014 and how not having it didn't work for me. So that's going to be a real priority, is getting back to having a set work schedule and a set family schedule. So think about what you need to do to help you get actionably to your theme word. Okay, and then we're gonna hit our fears head on. Let's brainstorm that LEAP card. For me, it's about upping my game. Let's brainstorm 1 to 3 ways that you can tackle that fear head on. What do you need? And again, we're talking actionable steps. What do you actually need to do? Like up your game. Like, how do you up your game? It's not really an action. I need a really specific task to do in order for me to overcome that fear. So the task that I picked is to re-examine my pricing structure, to look at my packages, to look at what I'm offering, to look at what I'm selling in my business, and make sure all the prices are in line with the value that I'm providing. So I'm gonna put that next to my LEAP. That's how I'm gonna up, one of the ways that I'm gonna up my game. And again, some of these may have 3 or 4 different things. Some of these may have 1, whatever works for you. And of course, I mean, we are planning live. You're making actionable steps right now, but some of this is gonna, excuse me, is gonna take a little while to sink in. You're gonna think of something when you're in the shower or when you're driving to pick up your kids after school later. So don't worry if you don't have all the ideas. Like I said, I wrote some of these out ahead of time, so I cheated a little bit, but this is gonna get you started. And you can always go back and watch the replay and move through these steps one at a time again. Okay, so now we've got some goals. We've started to break down. We know how we're gonna reach our theme word. We know how we're gonna overcome some of our fears, but how are we gonna know? So it is important to set some barometers, to set some markers so that we know if we're achieving those things. Now, there's a million different barometers that you can set, and you can really pick what makes the most sense for your business and your life. So I have some examples. You might set a goal of the amount of revenue you want to generate. Or you might set the number of clients you want to work with, or the numbers of products you want to create, or maybe the number of products you want to sell. Oh, and quick side note, I use product to describe anything you create that you sell. So even if you sell a one-on-one service, if you're a coach and you sell one-on-one coaching, health coaching or business coaching or life coaching, that's still your product as far as my definition. So I'm not referring to just like a tangible product, like maybe you create candles. It can be that, or it can be a workshop that you sell, or it can be a class that you lead, or a one-on-one service. So basically anything that you're selling, I define as a product. Just a little tangent there. So again, it could be the numbers of products you create, it could be the number of products you sell, it could be your reach. So maybe you want to set some analytic numbers, or maybe it's social media followings. You want to reach a certain number of following on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter. It might be more lifestyle based. Your barometer might be how many days a week do you want to work, or how many days a week, or how many hours a day do you want to work, or setting a barometer like no work after 8 p.m. or no work before 10 a.m., whatever it is. You also might set how many travel days you want to take this year. Maybe you want to take 4 days in a row off once a month. That's a goal that I've heard that I love, that I'm always striving towards. Or maybe you want to do a certain amount of traveling this year, or spend a certain amount of time with family and friends. All of those are great barometers, but you need something to be able to judge your progress by. Okay, so while you guys are writing that, we've got another prize. So this time the prize is going to be these super fun black Post-it notes and a silver Sharpie. And this is another one. This is a participation prize for, for participating on Facebook. And this one goes to Parenting by Heart. So that's Rachel. Congratulations. And she's a newbie to Instagram. So I'm excited that she participated and that she won. So that, again, was done just by random generation on participation on the Instagram challenge. So congratulations, Rachel from Parenting by Heart. Okay, so now you have some of your, so the barometers that I've set, and I didn't actually write them down, but I just wrote them out. So I have a goal of what I want, the size I want my community to be. So that's going to be made up of my Facebook community, my new Instagram community, as well as the people that I network and reach with. My work schedule goal. So like I said, one of my big goals for me to be able to flourish is to have a more set schedule. So one of my barometers is going to be that I set hours where I work and I set hours where I spend time with my family. And if I'm able to stick to those, then I'm going to know I'm accomplishing my goals. And then of course, I'm going to focus on a revenue goal this year. I've definitely always set revenue goals, but I think that this year in my business is going to be the time to really focus. It's also something that I want to learn more about. I want to up-level my financial knowledge. And so it's going to be really important for me to set some revenue and some financial barometers to track that by. So what are some of the things that you are going to set so that you can, over time, when we get to December 15th, 2015, and we're looking at our big wins for 2015, we can say, I reached this community size goal, or I reached this revenue goal, or I reached this travel day goal. What are those going to be? And if anyone wants to share anything along the way, just pop it into the question. Again, there's a little delay, but I'll answer it for sure. Okay, so now is where we have some fun. Now we've got some big goals spread out here. So now we start thinking nitty gritty. So how am I going to get here? How am I going to get to my got this goals of streamlining, being healthy, and building community? How am I going to get to my goal of re-examining my pricing structure, more repeatable business, having a more set schedule, building my community? All of these goals that we've set, now we want to get to the tangible action items. These are the things you're actually going to do in your business in 2015. So now we're switching a little bit. We're moving away from how do you want to feel to what do you want to do. And you're just going to start brainstorming things out. Again, don't edit right now. This is not set in stone. Just because you write it on a Post-it note doesn't mean it has to happen. We're just getting some ideas out. So here's some things to think about. Think about content that you want to create. So different ideas you have, different books you want to write, posts you want to write, courses you want to create, different content that you want to create. Maybe it's videos, maybe it's all sorts of different stuff. You can also think about ways, come up with the ways that you want to be seen. So do you want to spend more time on social media? Do you want to get out to in-person networking events? Do you want to advertise in your local newspaper? Do you want to do Facebook ads? Do you want to spend more time in your Facebook communities? What are some ways that you want to be seen? Now, again, you don't have to do all of these. These are just some prompts to get you thinking. Ways you want to engage. So again, are you going to attend backing up, maybe ways you want to be seen. Maybe you want to start a podcast this year, or maybe you want to start, Sally wants to share her barometer. So we're going to pause really quick. Okay, so she wants to, good, this is great. We can all reach out to Sally M, either on Instagram or we can find her wherever. And she wants to reach 2K across her social media platforms, over 1K on her mailing list, and at least 4 full weeks off in a row, and 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and to reach 6 figures. Amazing. Those are awesome. And as we move into this planning part, you're going to be able to really figure out, like, okay, when are those 4 weeks off in a row going to happen? When are those, I love the idea of those like 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Like I love that idea. It's almost like kids in like year-round school versus having that 3 months off over the summer. So great barometers. If anybody else wants to share those, definitely share. Okay, so back to some of the ideas that you might be brainstorming about your business. Different ways that you can engage. So maybe you want to send more newsletters to your list this year. Maybe you want to comment more on other people's blogs. Maybe you want to participate more in Facebook groups. Maybe you want to do a site redesign or something that promotes more engagement. What are products you want to create? Or in my case, recreate, meaning run them again. So maybe you created something awesome and it went really well, or you beta tested something in 2014. Which of those did you like? Which didn't you like? Which worked out well? Which do you want to create something new? Where do you want to run something you've done before? So think about those ideas. Also think about behind the scenes in your business. Do you want to create different processes for your clients? Do you want to sign up for new financial software? Do you want to do a site redesign, or get a new website up, or refresh your brand, or create a different way to track your clients? That kind of leads into different systems that you might want to set up in your business. Do you need a different way to gather testimonials? Do you need a different way to keep track of your analytics? Whatever those different systems are in your business. You also want to think about people. This is such, Mama CEO. I just got a text from my husband asking where my daughter's lunchbox is, which I don't know. So I'm hoping he can find it. But this is what being a Mama CEO is all about, right? Juggling all of these things. So also brainstorm people you want to connect with, things you want to learn. Who do you want to work with? What coaches do you want to work with this year? What business partners do you want to form collaborations with? Who's your ideal client? Which clients would you love to work with? So all of those things are things that you can brainstorm. So this is going to be a really, really great gift. We're going to depart from Post-it notes for just a second. And we have a gift or a prize from Parrish Wilson at parrishwilson.com. And she is a content coach. She's amazing at what she does. And she is offering one of our participants one of her rapid strategy sessions, which is a way to get her expert advice on your blog and all your different content marketing. So she'll actually review your content, and then you'll have a session with her where she'll go through via Skype and give you suggestions on how to maximize your return. So I'm super excited about this prize, and it goes to, again, randomly generated number it goes to abrian516 on Instagram. abrian516. Maybe I shouldn't have written it in the silver pen. Kind of doesn't show up. I should have just stuck with black. I was trying to be festive. It's the holidays. So abrian516 gets a rapid strategy session with Parrish, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear how that goes. Okay, so take a few more minutes, brainstorm out some of your content. And again, I kind of did that a little bit ahead of time, and we'll go through that. All right, now it's starting to really rain hard. So I don't know if you can hear that. I'm in California and we so need the rain, but man, it's a hassle, right? But for all of you where it snows and ice, I can't even complain about the rain. All right, so now we're gonna move on. We've got some good things started here. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna move this board out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna grab a quick drink of water. We're gonna start talking about planning our actual year. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time talking about our entire 2015, but that's 365 days, and that's a lot of planning to do. And to think that, oh, just in 365 days, I'm gonna have this accomplished. We wanna break it down into more manageable chunks so that we can really wrap our brains around it, and also so that we can make sure we're taking systematic steps to get there. So I really recommend dividing your year into quarters, okay? So we've got Q1, January, February, and March, Q2, April, May, and June, Q3, July, August, and September, and Q4, October, November, and December. And to be honest with you, as a mom, I tend to shift my quarters a little bit as I'm planning, and I actually make Q3 June, July, and August so that it coincides with exactly what my kids' summer break is. And then that just kind of means stuff gets a little bit lumped together. Like Q1 is kind of, I still kind of keep that January, February, March. Q2 is kind of April, May, beginning of June. And then Q4 kind of becomes September through December. So you don't have to divide them specifically in 3-month chunks. Do it with what works with your lifestyle. Maybe your family's on a different schedule or you're on a different schedule and it makes sense to break it down differently. Totally fine. But the idea here is not to be trying to plan everything all in one chunk. You kind of want to be able to break it out a little bit. Okay, so the first thing is we want to just think logistics. So you want to think about your year and think about things that are already set in stone. Maybe you have a wedding coming up that you're attending, or maybe you're taking a big family trip. And you want to get some of those big things on your calendar, because I always say you can't plan in a vacuum. You can't just plan your business without thinking about everything else that's going on in your life. So I know that my kids have summer break here in Q3. I know that that's a big one. I know that the fall, especially because we're just kind of coming off the fall and into the holidays, that the start of school and the holidays, they can be a little bit crazy. So not that I'm gonna forget those, but just that I can remember as I'm planning. Also, my family is planning on taking a trip in March. So I just wanna have that out on my calendar so I can plan ahead. So getting any of those, I call them your big rocks, the things that are kind of immovable in your schedule. Maybe you're, celebrating a parent's wedding anniversary and there's going to be a big party that you and your siblings are throwing. You don't want to be launching a product at that same time. Your head will explode. So getting some of those big rocks out on your calendar first is just going to help with that kind of ease of scheduling. It's like, maybe I don't want to plan this for this time. I want to plan it for over here. Okay, so the other thing to think about too is industry cycles. So if you're in an industry where there's kind of ebbs and flows, maybe you sell products that are, maybe your busy season is the holidays because you sell gift type products. And we have a really fun gift prize coming up later from one of my clients who does just that. This is her busy time of year. So thinking about that, or maybe you really focus on something that is available during the summer. So that's your busy time. So you want to think also about your industry cycles when you're thinking about this. Like, okay, it's really important for me to launch something in June. Whereas for some of us, it may be really a bad idea to launch something in June. So kind of think about it that way too. Okay. To thinking about how we want to feel. So we set that word for how we want to feel for the whole year. Now we're going to think a little bit about how we want to feel each quarter. And not just how you want to feel, but what your intention is for the quarter. So and this takes all of these into consideration. So my word for the fall, for fall of 2014, was foundation and stability. It was my word for my business and my family. So in Q1, for me, I just called it build on fall. Not a really great word. I should come up with a better word. But I feel like I put all of these foundational pieces in place, and now I can really act on those in Q1. So I can really make some progress, some forward progress in my business, building on the foundation that I built in Q4 of 2014. The spring, I just loved the message behind. In spring, I want to really focus on growth. Remember, one of my big goals was to continue to build my community. So I'm going to really focus on that community building aspect in Q2. So let me stop for a minute. Why do we plan this? Why do we break this all out? Because if you're anything like me, you put together this plan and you get super excited and you want to do everything right now. You're like, oh, I want to, and I'm going to use Sally's example because it's still up on my screen. It's like, oh, okay, I want to build my mailing list, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and all at once. And then that can get pretty overwhelming. So for me, I space things out. I want to push some business projects in Q1. I want to focus on community building in Q2. And then the summer, my kids are on a traditional summer break. And this last summer, I tried to launch a new product, and it was a little hectic. So this summer, I said coast and family. So again, I kind of have this vision of my car kind of, picking up speed. I've got some growth, and then I'm just going to ride that wave out through the summer. I'm just going to coast and focus on my family. And then for the fall's also, for me and my industry, a great time to launch and to push a business goal. But I want to focus on it in September and October, and then wind down towards the end of the year. So I picked kind of weird words. I said pop and wind down is my intention for Q4 of 2015. But this is going to keep me kind of focused. If someone approaches me and wants to do a business project together, or I have this great brainstorm of like, oh my gosh, I should do this, I'm going to be able to figure out where it fits in my quarters based on, okay, does this fit with my intention? I also really recommend doing this for your family too, so that you have some kind of goals and intentions for your family. Again, my family goal for this fall of 2014 was stability. My kids were starting new schools. I wanted to really be that stable foundation. So I wanted to make sure they had consistent pickup and drop-off schedules, that we weren't doing big things. I want to rearrange my daughter's room, and I decided not going to do it in fall because that doesn't fit with my goal of keeping it really stable right now. I don't want to, move her out of her little bed and all that stuff. So that's why I like to set those words, because it just keeps me kind of moving along and not getting that shiny object syndrome. Like, ooh, now I want to redo her room. Let's go to IKEA. Like I'm gonna push that out. Maybe that fits in with growth. She'll be growing into a bigger bed. We'll do it in the spring. Okay, so now all of those Post-it notes that you brainstormed out a little bit earlier, now you're going to think about your quarterly intentions and your logistics, and you're going to start to take your Post-it notes and stick them into quarters. So like I just said, like I just gave a family example with my daughter, if one of my goals is to redo her room, I figure out like, oh, look, we don't really, April, May, June, we don't have a lot going on as a family. Our weekends aren't going to be too busy. Maybe I put it in there. Same with business things. If I want to do a big social media push, like, okay, that Post-it is going to fit into this queue. If I want to, launch something, remember, I want to really relaunch things in my business. So I definitely am going to want to do something in September and October that I've done before, because I want to be able to run it and then wind down. So this is how you're able to start plugging things in. So I really recommend that you start with the things on your LEAP list. So again, I moved mine down here to the ground, but to have more repeatable business, to have a work schedule. So like setting my work schedule, I want to do that right away. So I might do that in Q1. More repeatable business, like maybe those kind of things start to happen in Q2, or maybe even down here in Q4. So you start kind of brainstorming things out that way. So start with things on your LEAP list, start with things from your goal list, and if it all else fails, follow the money. It's easy as business owners to think of all the millions of things that we have to do in our business. I highly, highly recommend you put your revenue generating goals on your calendar first and then work backwards from there. So if you have a revenue generating goal, yes, you may need to increase your list size so that you get to that revenue generating goal, but you want to make sure to put that revenue generating goal on your calendar first, and then you can work back. Okay, if I want to run this project in April, then I need to do a lot of list building in February and March so that I can sell something in April. So those kind of things. Oh, and then the one last thing before we do it, I got excited because I saw next on my list is to give away another live prize. So also break down your barometers by quarter. So Sally, I'm picking on you a little bit because I've got it up here on my screen. So if your goal is to get 2,000 people across your social media platforms, then how many people do you want to get in Q1? How many people do you want to get in Q2? And maybe it's as simple as dividing it by 4. So maybe it's 500, 500, 500, 500. Or maybe it's like, you know what, I need some time in Q1 to, yeah, sorry, Haley, there is a lot of information. There will definitely be a replay. But when you're breaking down that barometer, maybe Q1 you're using to ramp up. So maybe you only want to grow your social media subscribers by 100 people or 50 people in Q1 because you're going to be doing a lot to build. But then you're going to be doing a huge push in Q2. You're going to be doing all sorts of challenges. You're going to be running Facebook ads. You're going to be doing all sorts of things. And so maybe your goal for Q2 is 600. And, you know, and then so on and so forth. And maybe that 4 weeks that you want to take off is going to be in the summer. You know, maybe that 4 weeks is going to be in July and August. So maybe some of your other barometers, maybe your revenue barometer is going to be a little bit lower in those months. So that is going to help keep you on track as you're moving forward. Okay, are we ready for another prize? So we actually have 23 people on live now. So hang on. Oh, of course, my phone won't let me in. Okay, so now we've got 23 people. And if it's Desiree again, I'll regenerate. Or if it's anyone who's won already. Okay, 23, generate, line is spinning. This is for another set of black Post-its and a silver Sharpie. And we're person 18. So let me count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, wait, 16. Why do I only have it showing 16? Maybe there's some people that didn't RSVP over here. Google Plus, you foiled me. Hang on. Okay, wait, I'm gonna generate a new number. Sorry, people. Okay, we got a new number. We got number 14 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now we've got Donna McGowan. Did I say that right? Donna McGowan. You won. Thank you so much for attending live. And everyone that that won these, I'll either be reaching out to you via Instagram or email me your mailing address, and I'll drop these all in the mail and get them out to you. Super fun. Okay. So now we've got our big overview planned out. Now we're going to focus on the next 90 days. I am a huge proponent of this. My business mentor, Amber McHugh, plans in 90-day cycles. I plan in 90-day cycles. I think it's a really important way to plan for a couple of reasons. One, it just fits really nicely. You're really focusing on one quarter at a time. And also business projects tend to, 3 months is a really good life cycle for a business project. You can usually roll things out in 3 months from start to finish. You can usually like really make some progress. You know, a month is a little too short. A year is too long to kind of think about it all in one chunk. 3 months is just a really good time to go kind of from idea to completion in one chunk of time. So I really love to plan in 3 months. Okay, so I'm going to turn around real quick. You're going to have to look at my back because I'm just going to, I think my microphone will stretch this far. So I put up Post-its And again, might take you a little bit longer than we're doing right now because you can really dive in a little deeper. But basically, I just put up a Post-it now that says January. I know you can't really read that, but the Post-it says January, February, March. And you probably have a bunch of Post-its here that you just brainstormed out. I didn't stick mine up yet. Then I like to divide it into what I call branches, roots, and because I'm a mama CEO and I'm all about balancing my business with my family, I like to stick up a family tab too. So now you have this little grid, and it can be bigger than that. In fact, I'll just hold up. I do it on a Post-it board. This is the last 90 days, and you can see some of the Post-it notes are starting to get pulled off because it means that things are done. But I plan a little bigger. So branches, the way I describe branches are things you're working on your business that are outward facing. So the branches are, you can picture a tree. Branches are the things that reach out and that people can see. So the branches are things in your business that your audience sees. The roots are what stabilize your business. They're what hold your business firmly to the ground. So these are the behind the scene things, the systems, the back end stuff. And then of course, family are goals that you want to accomplish or things that you want to do with your family. And whether you're married, whether you have kids, that is, your definition of family. It may be with your best friend. It may be with your parents. It may be with your family and kids. It may be with your neighbor, whatever it is, but the things with your relationships that are important to you. So then you've got all these Post-it notes that you've brainstormed out your ideas on, and you start thinking about, you look at your rocks, your big rocks. Okay, I've got that trip in March coming up, so I want to be cognizant of that. I'm launching My Tiny Empire in January, which I'm going to tell you more about in a little bit. I'm really excited about this. I'm running a mastermind right now. The ladies from my mastermind are going to be in a Mama Summit, which is going to be really fun. That's going to happen in February. And then I'm relaunching my mastermind in March. So I can start to plan out, again, starting with my revenue generating, starting with my outward facing goals. Then I can start to look at, okay, well, also in January, I really want to put together some better client systems. So now I've switched over to things that are a little behind the scene. I want to focus on having a client portal and a resource center for my clients. I also want to, I'm running out of room a little bit here. Let's move this over. I also want to work on that new work schedule. When I come back from the holidays, when my kids are back in school, I want to have a new set work schedule. And I also want to get started working with a financial planner. So those are some of my goals for January. In March, I want to really focus on getting some testimonials up on my site from my mastermind. Again, kind of thinking about where I'm headed. I'm also going to be doing a little brand refresh, which I'm really excited about. And then I've got some family goals here. I've got, like I said, I've got my family trip in March. In January, we really want to get up to Lake Tahoe and take the kids to the snow. And I want to get away for an overnight with my husband. So we try to plan at least once or twice a year at least that we get away. So then I start to see what my 90 days look like. And I can keep breaking those down smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I know just what I'm focusing on. And I can put my barometers right on there. I can write them usually with a different color. I'll write them right on my Post-it note. Okay, so how much revenue is this going to generate? How much is this going to build my community? How much is this going to increase my time off? Whatever it is, I can really see if the things that I'm doing line up with my goals. Okay. Just want to make sure I've covered everything. Yeah, okay, so I've got a few more reminders before we're approaching the end of the hour. I've got a few more reminders about setting your 90-day plan, but I want to take a quick pause and tell you about how you take this from plan to action. So you get your 90-day plan put together, and now you want to move it into action. And this is exactly what I created in this workshop, My Tiny Empire, and I'm so excited about it. It's actually been a dream of mine to create for a full year now, and it's finally coming to fruition. I'm really excited about it. And it is my low tech, high impact way of planning everything in my business. So it's my tiny empire is 3 complete systems, 3 separate systems for running your business in a really simple way, but a high impact way. And you can obviously tell what I use, my little office supply powerhouse, the Post-it note. But it really is a method for the 3 systems are project organization, product creation, and scheduling and planning. And each of these systems, you could use one of these systems in your business and really see an impact, but the workshop contains all 3 systems. And if you put them all together and use them together, you are going to be unstoppable in 2015 and you are going to reach your goals. Like I said, it's going to be officially available to the public on January 12th, just in time to really kick off all these goals in the new year. But because I'm just so motivated and so excited by the momentum that we have with this Instagram challenge, I actually decided to put it on pre-sale just for this week. So just today through Friday, I'm leaving town on Friday to go to my best friend's wedding, and then I'm going to take some time off to spend time with my family for the holidays. So this Friday, I'm kind of shutting down shop. I'm going to close the cart. But this week, you can pre-order My Tiny Empire at a super pre-sale price. When it goes on sale to the public in January, it's going to be $75 for the 3 systems. You can get it for just $47. So really good deal, because I really feel confident that this system works, and I want to see you succeed. You've worked so hard, 526 Post-it notes on Instagram this week of people planning out their 2015. I want to see you be successful with those plans. So for just $47. And then I'm also really excited because I know that planning out on a huge wall, it's a really great way to plan. It's very visual, but it's not very portable. So I've also created my own planner system that I give to my clients, and it's exclusive for my clients, but I've decided that if you take the plunge and buy My Tiny Empire this week, I'm gonna throw in my planner for the first 3 months of 2015 so that you can get all your goals off your planning wall and into a more portable format. And that's going to show you, it's going to have the quarter breakdown in it. It's going to have a week by week breakdown. It's going to be, you're going to be able to break down, basically take everything that you learn in My Tiny Empire and keep it portable. So those 2 things are going to be available to you this week only, $47. You can go to meganflatt.com/tiny empire. You can read more about it, you can get all the details, and you can click buy. And the planner will be coming next week, just in time for the holidays, and you'll get your copy of My Tiny Empire when it's available to the public in January. And my reason for this is it's easy to get excited about your plan and want to get started right away, but we've got lots of other things we need to focus on in December. So you can purchase My Tiny Empire today and then put your planning away, focus on your other priorities for December, focus on your family, focus on winding down or ramping up your business, and then just know that My Tiny Empire is going to be in your inbox, ready for you to plan out the rest of the year in January. So if you have any questions, like I said, if you have any questions about the product or more about planning, let me know. And we've got a few more things to do before I say goodbye. Of course, we've got some more prizes. And so we talked about having other priorities for December. I have this adorable download from Molly Alexander at Lazy Jane Productions, and it is a Santa letterhead. How adorable is that? So you download this, you print it out, and then you write the letter to your kids. It says, you know, official Christmas use only. It comes from Elf Village in the North Pole. Super adorable. And she has these available for sale on her Etsy site. And I'll post that link. I'll post it on Instagram and I'll post it on my Facebook page so you guys can go download this, because seriously, how cute is that? And again, randomly picked at Creating Your Plan. So at Creating Your Plan, you won the download from Lazy Jane Productions of the Santa letterhead, which I just love. I'm so excited to use it. Okay, and then I have one big giveaway because I'm just so excited for everyone that participated. I'm giving away a copy of My Tiny Empire when it comes out, and the planner. And so again, random number generation. I picked a winner. And the winner of My Tiny Empire workshop plus the planner is Devin Smiley, at Devin Smiley. So congratulations, Devin, on winning a copy of My Tiny Empire. Okay, so before we leave, we've got 6 minutes. I've got a couple of reminders and tips to help you make the most of your 90-day plan. And this comes from things that people have said that they're concerned about when they plan, or they don't want to leave things set in stone, or they want to plan further out. These are a few things to remember before we leave. So 1, you want to be realistic. You really want to think about, that's why we put our big rocks in. That's why we really break this down. Realistically, what can I do in the month of January? Realistically, what can I do in the month of March? You want to be realistic because it's the tortoise and the hare. It is better to move slow and steady and know you'll get there and feel good and feel comfortable than to think, okay, I'm going to do every single thing on my goal list in January, and then you just, your head explodes. I think I've used that analogy already. Your head doesn't really explode. Okay, the second thing is to be intentional. Make sure that everything you do in your business and in your planning has a purpose and leads back to your quarter intention and back to that bigger goal world. Bigger goal word. It's clearly getting towards the end of the hour. I can't talk anymore. And your barometers and your theme. So if you think, oh, it'd be really fun to do this, or it'd be really fun, oh, I should do this, you can stop and run your ideas through these filters and make sure you're being really intentional, because that's what's going to keep you moving on the path to your big goals. It's easy as entrepreneurs, it's easy as business owners I get it, to have that kind of bright, shiny object syndrome. You see someone doing something, and you're like, oh, I want to do that in my business. Or you have this great brainstorm in the shower. And those are great. And those might absolutely be the right thing to do in your business. But you want to make sure that you're planning really intentionally. Be brave. Put that LEAP goal early. I want everyone to do their LEAP goal in January. Like, be brave. Running a business is hard and it's scary, and sometimes you just have to leap. So put that big goal up there. Don't keep pushing it out, especially that thing that's really scary. And then the last thing that goes back to being intentional is be willing to pivot. Just because it's in your plan, just because it's on a Post-it note, doesn't mean it has to happen, or that it has to happen the way you thought it was going to happen. It doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you're not productive. It doesn't mean you're behind schedule. It just means you're pivoting in your business. You're examining more closely what needs to be done and what doesn't, and you're adjusting. So you might decide to move something that you thought you were going to do in Q1. You move it out to Q2, or you move it to Q4, or it comes off your schedule altogether. That is okay. That's why we're entrepreneurs. That's why we run our own businesses. And also, just don't forget to plan in some personal goals and some family goals as well. We tend to be really good at planning our business goals and not as good, especially if you're a mama CEO, we tend to not be as good at planning your personal, your self-care, your well-being, and some of your family goals. So be sure to do that. I like to do it right on the same board so that I can see everything all together. So you guys, that is it. We are done for today. Thank you so much for joining in on the challenge all week. We'll still be using the My Tiny Empire hashtag for the next couple of weeks for the rest of December. So definitely pop in and search and watch for some other fun little prompts to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Definitely check out meganflatt.com/tinyempire to learn more about the workshop that's coming out in January. And like I said, it'll be on sale just this week for $47. And then the shopping cart's going to close until January 12th when it's available to the public. And I don't think I ever really introduced myself, so I will introduce myself as I say goodbye. I'm Megan. I'm a business coach and a time management strategist for busy moms who are ready to grow and build their dream businesses while being actively present in the day-to-day lives of their kids. So I'd love to connect with you. I've got a Facebook group, the Mama CEO Club, over on Facebook. Come join us. It's an amazing community. And we're going to continue to use the My Tiny Empire hashtag to build a community on Instagram. So feel free to use that hashtag anytime you want to tie back into this community. I'm just going to double check and see if there's any questions that I missed. You can also head over to my Facebook page, which is Facebook.com/Megan Flatt page. If you have any questions, you can ask there. My email is megan@meganflatt.com. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all. Now get back to building your empire. See you on Instagram.